So we are going to understand today about revenue and expense recognition concept. Okay. So what does this concept says? Let's understand. So we will write with a different pen. Okay. It is a methodology which enables an entity to record the expenses as well as income in which they have either incurred, we will not say either, they have been incurred and earned respectively. Okay, so we will understand this concept through a very simpler example. Okay, however, you can write down this onto your notebooks for future reference. Let's say suppose there is a person, Mr. A. Okay, and there is a second person, Mr. B, who is a supplier, of raw material to Mr. A. Now what happens? Mr. A frequently purchases raw material from Mr. B. So Mr. A said, okay, you can transfer me raw material, okay, that is worth of rupees $1,000, but I will pay you in some later time, like 1 month time, or we can say next year, okay, because that will be relevant for our example for understanding the concept, okay, in next year, okay. Now what happens? This $1,000 will be recognized as expense in current financial year instead of next financial year. So that is what our concept says. That is irrespective of in which the expense has been incurred. So Mr. A is incurring the expense of purchasing raw material in current financial year. Okay. But however, he is willing to pay those expenses in next financial year. So therefore, these $1,000 will be recognized as expenses in current financial year. Okay, that is clear. So that is stated by expense recognition concept. Okay, so this is our example one. Okay, and let's understand example number two. Okay, so what our example two says. So let's say Mr. A again, and now there is Mr. C. Mr. Mr. C. Okay, so C is a customer. So Mr. A delivered goods and services to Mr. C, and this type of transaction frequently occurs. So what Mr. C said, that Mr. A, I will pay you in next year. Okay, so that is those. So the worth of goods and services was $2,000. So Mr. A asked his accountant that when this $2,000 will be recognized as income. So his accountant said, sir, as per the revenue recognition and expense recognition concept, we will recognize this $2,000 as income in current financial year, irrespective of receiving this $2,000 in subsequent year. Okay, even if this $2,000 will be realized in next financial year, we will be considering it as income in current financial year. Okay, so that is what our revenue recognition concept says. However, this concept, revenue recognition and expense recognition concept, matches with our choice A, that is present in the current question. Okay, so that's all for our solution. However, you can write down sheet number 1, sheet number 2 onto your notebook, but choice A is correct. Okay, that's all for our solution.